And we're live. Hello everyone, this is Ninja DC. Join again for another Reactor video, this time for MLP Season 8, Episode 3. Joining me again is Herd of Brony.
Hello, ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. Welcome back to Let's Watch Season 8. And this episode is a mod episode, so expect everything to be boring and dull.
Unless you're on the outside looking in which case it's going to be hilarious.
That too.
Carlos.
I am the Gunmetal Gladius. I am a warrior, clad in clear blue and gray armor, and I will tell you of a tale of a man who feigned emotions in order to attempt to gain friends. But he will not any longer, for he will become as solid as a rock, as Mod will be displayed in this episode. And you will see what glorious tales will befold on someone who no longer relies on energy in order to get things done, but instead cold, hard determination and an iron will in order to persevere through all the shit that goes through life.
Nobody needs iron will to persevere through life.
You wouldn't say? Well, let's go over to Iron Will's and Podium, in which we will go over every single sale that he has going, including his Assertiveness Center, in which he'll give you a once-in-a-lifetime guarantee session, in which you will learn how to be assertive from the man himself, or the Minotaur in this case, or maybe you would like to go on a cruise in the air. Hurry and do so before all the contracts expired, and everyone will lose their money.
What he said.
All right, next up, Jenn.
Hi, I'm Jenn. I'm getting into the mood for this mod episode.
Hi, Jenn.
Hi, Jenn.
Well,
I was doing so well. You broke me.
Of course we will break you.
Sorry I had to cut in on your parade. Oh no.
My
Oh
mod.
no. I'm Napster Blue.
My
They're
mod.
starting to do that in
My mod
Quartet
just got
harmony.
ruined. My mod just got ruined.
We've ruined a character voice for a voice actress.
How dare you?
We are all accomplices to murder. Quick, hide our evidence. Hide the body. Wait.
I will hunt you down. I will destroy you.
Ah!
I will do the most annoying voice I can think of. And that's the Valley Girl. I will not subject everybody else to it because I did that once and I felt bad for it. I will not subject these kind viewers to that atrocity again. But anyway, hello, I'm Jenn. And welcome to 8-Bit Reactions, where we watch Season 8 of MLP. It's time for the mod episode. Get hype.
It's time to rock.
And roll like an igneous rock on the shore. Dude, that was good.
I think that would be more sedimentary, my dear.
You're
I
right.
heard in this episode there's going to be another character as boring as Maud.
We better make
Another-
sure we don't fall asleep.
Now there'll be 2 mods.
That's too mod to handle.
Oh.
It's only so long I can talk in that voice before I start laughing.
I can't handle all the mods.
All the mods.
I need to get all the mods. Stat.
The key is that Mod has sophistication. She can internalize these things and leave a totally cold exterior where her thoughts used to be.
Okay, we're ready for the episode. Let's rock.
And roll.
Still, we have seconds still.
Whoops.
Whoopsie daisy.
Because when I arrive, I'll bring the fire, make you come alive. I can take you higher. What is this? Forgot. I must now remind you, let it rock, let it rock, Let it rock. Second opinion here from Critic Personal Defense. Second, it's good to be back. I liked the season premiere that was pleasantly surprised. Maybe nothing phenomenal, but it was a grower. So, all right. Feeling good about season 8 so far.
All right.
Alrighty then.
Everyone's ready?
Ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready for this apparent sequel.
All right. Everyone press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
Hey,
Let's see if they actually have the new opener or not.
I think we will.
Oh, we finally get to see this.
What do you call an alicorn with no wings and no horn?
An Earth pony.
Earth pony.
What?
It's such an inside
Seriously,
joke.
Being an Earth pony isn't so bad. We've got magic powers too, like walking around.
You go on the route that she's actually bad at this.
Sorry to
Okay,
face you
so
with the
sorry.
harsh reality.
Oh my god.
Of course you would hang with the girlfriends.
Yeah, but no, we've seen her be funny. She ripped Discord.
Plastic rock. The accumulation of sediments over millennia forming to create sandstone, shale, and breccia. It sounds something like this.
Did someone say sandstorm?
Yes.
And that's my time.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if I like
She's
the
just
approach
laughing
that she
to
didn't
make her
actually
feel
know what she
better.
was talking about when she said she was funny.
What?
Okay, that's funny.
What?
Piggy said, "Isn't my mod the most amazing comedian ever?" And she brought down the house with that.
Oh my god.
Ah.
Oh, here we go.
Alrighty then. Whoa!
It is the new intro.
Oh my god!
Hey!
Whoa! We have a new
All the fan
animation!
service!
Dude!
Oh my god, so much
New
shipping!
animation!
Big adventure.
Woo!
Are faithful and strong.
Oh, Sassy's in the intro too!
Wow!
And magic makes it
Oh my god!
Oh my god! Wow!
Oh my god!
Wow!
Oh, the purple logo makes
Well.
sense. This is
Oh
a new
my
era.
They
God.
still got the
Making
song that
progress.
sucks.
Wow! It's a brand new animation opening. Oh my god!
It
Wow!
was gorgeous.
I was
All
not
they
ready for
need-
this.
All they need is a better song.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I think
Nick
just follow the
Cole.
song from the Italian version.
Hey, Nick Confalone! Yeah!
Off at the Ponyville sticker convention that I could plan for tomorrow if you want.
Ponyville convention?
Actually, I'm busy tonight.
Aw, that's what you said yesterday. And the day before that. And the day before the day before
she's
that.
busy with her new boyfriend.
I haven't known in a really long time because you always
You know, besides tonight.
when you promised to build whipped cream pyramids with me.
I am sorry, Pinkie. The reason is I have a...
As long as we get some
Oh.
No, see, Mod can't tell her yet because we have to have more hijinks first.
I wanna hang out
Of
before your
course.
Did
The
she say
secret of
scissor
Pop-
time?
planning anything special.
Alright,
Okay.
let's not go there.
Okay.
Okay.
Kiss you and me. Best sister friends forever.
Oh no.
Sister friends.
She's
Okay,
gonna
sister.
have her own like, wedding moment rage now. Tomorrow today.
Time for Sugar Kiss Corner. The answer is.
Ooh, that's a pretty looking like
I would also say
area.
Mod.
Yeah, it's Mod's new home from last season.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. We're playing hide and go seek.
Huh.
That constructive pen will
Oh
will
my
dig the
god,
same.
that face!
Hey, Pokey Prince. Pokey Pierce.
Hey, Mod wouldn't be in the water.
Ooh, Yak-Yakistan? Huh.
How'd she get there so quick?
Oh,
Oh,
wait, that was a
Randall.
girl. That was a girl, yeah.
Galloping Gorge? Oh my gosh, how'd she get there?
I can't find my sister.
Derpy!
Oh my god! I keep forgetting that Starlight has that equal cross-off or sign.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Where is my sister? I know you have her, Starlight. She's in your harem.
Oh my
Because Pinkie's an idiot.
To rent this wax museum and the agenda stand. She has to be here.
Nope, it's just me reading.
Oh.
Maud wouldn't be in a book.
Oh.
Are you sure there's no pony hiding in your closet?
Oh.
No, it's just a skeleton.
Pinkie, I don't have a closet. Is everything okay?
Pardon me, but we don't normally wear clothes.
Today.
And ruin her surprise party?
Surprise party?
But now I can't even find Maud. I'm usually way better at hide and seek than this.
Well, she probably just found a new rock formation and forgot you two were gonna hang out. Tell you what, you take care of the cake and I'll look for Maud.
Really? Thanks, Starlight.
Maud wouldn't be in a flower pot.
Oh, there it is.
Get very important ingredients for a very important pony's cake, and it's gotta be tip-top super duper secret.
Technically, it's not your turn yet.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to cut in front of any pony.
He meshed with the background completely.
I did not like his design.
I actually really like it for just how ordinary.
I like the gal's mane. I really like her mane.
I really do like the rough line.
Party here in the pocket while you what are you doing anyway?
I am
Hey,
currently
what
speaking
kind of pony would Maud date male Maud next?
What are you looking for? Roller tips, cupcake tips, cookie cutters with tails of fish?
This is a really very good question. Is
That's what you've been standing here all this time to say?
I was deciding between goodbye and see you later.
Oh my god!
I just look at his cutie mark.
Different.
It's stick in the mud.
Later implies an event in the near future wherein we see each other. Goodbye expresses good wishes where flirting or at
Look
the
at
end
his
of
cutie mark.
conversations.
Stick in the mud.
Stick in the
I
mud.
will not apologize for speaking with precision.
In that case, apology not accepted. Goodbye, later, see you.
Wow.
Can you believe that guy? Huh?
Just come back by Pinkie, but
Oh.
Come on.
yeah.
Ugh.
Okay, but if they're just gonna like make this guy aggressively dry and annoying,
Oh boy.
It takes so long to say goodbye. What was it? See you later.
thing is actually so far is
Looks
Hello,
like the
Pinkie
mud
Pie.
has come back.
My turn to hide.
Oh!
Sorry I wasn't around.
I mean, they're a lot better at writing Maud than
What are
that,
you
so.
apologizing to me for? I'm not upset, you silly Willy.
The reason is I met some
You want to
pony.
hang out right now? I mean, I can see you're not doing anything.
Oh
with it.
boy.
We need more hijinks first.
Oh my god, this is rock solid friendship part deuce.
The reason I've been so busy is that I have a boyfriend now.
I knew it.
Oh,
A boyfriend.
Oh,
A
what?
boyfriend.
Oh what?
I can hear you.
that hurts.
so exciting. My sister.
What? The boyfriend.
Technically, we're in like.
Tell
In like.
That sounds like something Maud would say.
Does he like ice cream? If he were a bird, what kind of bird would he be? Wait, is he actually a bird? Oh, I don't know because you haven't told me anything yet.
He's a giant
You'll
douche.
like him.
I think
We
he's
have
an
a
idiot.
lot in common.
Oh my god.
Well, I love you, so I know I'm gonna love your boyfriend.
Pinkie.
His name is Chad.
You don't have
Chad.
to.
Oh!
He's a rock, and you love rocks, so it's perfect.
He's
Are
behind
you
her.
Are
serious?
you jealous?
No. he loves the rock.
Cheating on
I knew
both?
it. Again.
Back there.
Technically, not anymore.
Oh no! Oh
Okay.
no!
I don't know why, but I'm really starting to like this guy.
Honestly, I find his personality less annoying than Maud.
Oh!
Yes.
Like, cause it seems like they're just kind of playing a
Yes.
gimmick with him, like,
Yes.
he's so dry, he does this.
You.
Well,
Yes.
it's because
Yes. Yes.
it is a gimmick, but it actually seems to have a
Start over.
functional personality where Maud is often
I know.
like just rock jokes.
Well, I mean, they kept Maud in the dark at first, but it felt like that was intentional, like they were warming us up to her bit by bit.
Oh, you're into rocks too?
No. I like sticks.
Then why were you
Ooh,
at
a stick
Reactor?
connoisseur.
Yeah, I can tell it took a lot of time to come up with this character.
Technically makes it a stick show.
Except that in the premineralization process of petrification,
my God,
the
Maud's smiling!
material is replaced with silicate.
Oh, good
We're
lord.
actively talking.
While
Oh!
retaining the original structural elements of
Okay,
wood.
Ma's reactions right now are hilarious.
Oh,
Oh my
my
God.
god.
Oh my
I'm-
God!
What?
The quiet passion of love radiating from Maud.
I'm wondering if I should start running right now.
Eh.
You
Oh
want to go first?
no!
That is stick abuse.
Oh God! No!
God.
Oh, this is awful.
Nobody says that. I'm sorry.
Let's start over.
Stick
That-
abuse.
No.
Nice to meet you.
Technically, we've already met.
You
Oh
should
my
introduce
gosh.
Pinkie to your pet.
Oh, your
Mm.
pet.
Serious?
This is my pet, so no.
Yeah, we all knew that was what it was, guys. That's not a
Look at
joke.
Pinkie and Boulder playing together.
Not a
They're
good one, anyway.
adorable.
Just a
Hey guys, sorry, I was helping my mom with something, and when I minimized the video, it somehow stopped.
Oh.
So, yeah,
Not yet.
Are we
I have
pausing?
no idea because I can't even find it in this stupid
All
thing.
right, everyone pause and go back to 11
I have
minutes
to open
exactly.
it again.
Okay.
Damn movies and TV app.
Movies and TV app, gotcha.
I'll just be honest. This episode is really like, I'm not liking it.
Really?
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
I was sort of kind of like a bit spoiled on it and kind of realized it's going to be Rock Solid Friendship Part Deuce, and it's like,
Har, it's gonna
No.
be rock. It's gonna
Well, I
be
mean, Rock Solid Friendship
solid.
was. I mean, Pinkie was a blockhead there too. Just like the joke with Pinkie's such a blockhead, she does it. But at least that was Maud and Starlight. This guy is no Starlight. He's
This-
no Maud
this-
either. He's
Well, the comparison I was going to use reminds me of like one of the, well, there's a few different things wrong with it, but one is reminds me of Three's a Crowd, where like the actual like conflict doesn't start till, like halfway through the episode.
oh my God.
But
Oh, geez.
with at least that one, like Discord, even when he's bad, is more entertaining than Mod in my mind.
Okay. I'm gonna actually
Discord when
defend
it's
this
bad
guy.
is what about Discord? So I'd have to say no. But okay, at least Three's a Crowd. Like there was what happened in the first half actually mattered somehow. Like this is just, hey, Maud is so dry and Pinkie is such a blockhead, and then we keep doing that until Pinkie discovers Maud has a boyfriend.
I just, it's like,
All right. Oh,
it's like all the stuff.
So I cut out around 9:30.
Oh.
we gotta resume.
all right,
gotta
just
read
watch the 30 seconds and stop at 11 minutes.
I said 9:30, not 10:30.
What? What?
Yeah,
So you
he's
said
a
30
minute
seconds.
and 30 seconds.
It's
Oh.
not 11, it's 10.
Okay, so let's re-review the whole entire Mud Briar sequence and see if
I'll
it's
just be
any
watching.
better the second time.
And
Okay.
I'll stop at 10.
Wait, no, pause at 11 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'll just watch a minute and a half.
Okay.
All right, so we'll continue giving a halfway point review until he catches up.
Maybe shouldn't we be quiet so he can see it? Maybe.
Well, we're already talking while we're watching it anyway.
Well,
so.
Oh, I don't know if we can concentrate on watching it. We're like bap in the background.
Yeah.
I manage.
So far, the best thing, like, it's weird to say, I think the best part of this episode so far is just Maud's face at some points. And that's both, I guess, a good telling sign of my opinions of this episode so far.
I mean, I really want to like give my piece of word about this new character and say, I don't know why. There's just something about him that I just out of the way like him, and just
how
it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know if it's the design or the way he speaks. It's just.
I mean, if it turns out that like there's other layers to him that work, I mean, I guess I could see it, but yeah, I think I'm with everyone else right now.
I mean, like aside from that, like this episode's kind of poor. It's kind of like the worst parts of like of Rock Solid Friendship. That's why I was very worried about this episode.
Yeah.
And
All right, I'm at 11 minutes.
hooray!
All right.
Okay.
Everyone resume in 3, 2, 1, play.
Here we go.
technically, we've already met.
We already met.
Pinkie, like, really, I don't know how you're starting to get even more annoying than Roxanne friendship.
It's like Pinkie, like you have no reason to complain about interacting weirdly with ponies. That's sort of your stick.
And also,
she's always like good at giving people a chance. Even Cranky the donkey, he was actively trying to, stick it to her, and it like passed right over her, like she tried to be his friend.
Like, seriously, Pinkie, it's like you don't do well with romance, aren't you? Is this what it's all building up to?
Okay, this is like Neil DeSet writing. Like, you get what the moral is? Pinkie doesn't get that that's just like Mud.
Maybe you just need to spend
She
more
needs
time
to get to know him.
Yeah.
You both.
Oh, seriously, remember Mud Pie, the episode from season 4?
Yes.
Which none of the main 6 really get Mud.
Yeah, but I mean, at least, like, they didn't just say that was the point, that, like, they tried to interact with her and they had, like, lots of hilarious ways of missing her. Like, this is just like everything else in this episode is a one-to-one.
Well, that problem was solved.
Be careful, dude.
But yeah, it's kind of like a 1-2 punch of, like, hey, he's annoying, and Pinkie gets annoyed.
Hey, look, party favor. Sorry, sorry, she's sandwich main with pink.
This is more of a cavern than a cave.
It's got visual gags.
Taught me that.
Visual gags.
It's a cool story, bro.
Well, at least he pays attention to his girlfriend.
Skip that one.
Some suggestions?
What?
Oh, suggest away! That's why you're here. You and me, planning together. Friends.
I have a vision board of everything Maud loves, and none of those things are on it.
Let me see this vision board.
It's not a physical thing.
You challenge my perspective.
Vision board.
Vision
board.
What?
I have all of my books and possessions.
I can't say this episode's not trying. That's an interesting touch.
Things are there. Just as I thought.
Oh my
Maud
god.
doesn't like surprises.
Where does it say that? You never told me that.
Nah.
It sounds like she was protecting your feelings. She's very caring that way.
Stop acting like
Oh,
Dear.
I know how that could easily sound as condescending.
Well,
Wait a minute, I think I know why I like this guy. He reminds me of you a second.
friends forever with Maud my entire life. I think I'm the expert here. But fine. If you don't believe me,
I think he's becoming really unlikable.
super sneaky.
Yeah,
Can you be more specific?
after the movie, why?
You must be Mud Briar. I'm Starlight Glimmer. Nice
Oh,
to
that's
meet
his
you.
name,
I've
Mud
heard
Briar.
great things.
You can't
So
call him
glad
stick in the
you
mud?
We're spending
Okay.
time together. So, how's it going?
Mud Briar and I have just spent the best time bonding, and we're really starting to make some headway, becoming besties, except for one teensy-weensy disagreement that maybe you could settle, Mud. See, Mud Briar here seems to think that you don't like surprise parties. Isn't that how wrong he is?
I like surprise parties
Okay.
because I know they make you happy when you throw them for me. I'd rather just do something small with you, Starlight, Boulder, and Mud Briar for my birthday.
No party? No party?
Everything you thought.
Mm-mm.
Maybe you should consider
It's all been a lie, Pinkie.
series with Mud
It's
Briar.
even worse than Rainbow Dash.
Sort of.
Just like the cake.
It's just like the pies.
Mud Briar, have you ever flown a kite? Let me tell you all about it. See, the first thing you should do is...
I just can't believe you would choose sitting around with him over a party
No.
with your own sister.
I didn't choose either of you. Technically, I said I wanted to be with both of you.
Technically? You even like the way
She said technically, so it doesn't matter that is an entirely true statement.
Then I guess you don't need a best sister friend forever anymore.
Oh, Pinkie, you have to be
Yeah, that
that
is
sick of the
exactly
mug
what
right
this
now.
situation
Slow down and
implies.
talk about this.
Yes.
Wow,
No, I
Pinkie.
want this to be the conflict, darn it!
See you later.
Okay, Mud Briar.
I don't understand.
This episode does have a few lines that hit, I'll give it that.
Is it opposite day? Nothing makes sense. I'm not and fashion. Darling.
Today is downright disgusting.
Slow
Okay.
and steady wins the race.
Okay.
Never
Only question is what that has to do with anything.
Okay, this is a lot better than dream sequence from Pie now.
I
In the sense that they had a lot more fun writing this episode than we're having watching it.
Well, I mean, maybe.
Wait.
Oh! Ah!
Get out of bed, sis.
Oh, hey, Lisa!
This is just.
Hi, Limestone.
Alright.
Probably wondering
Back
why
to
we
these
got
two
to
again.
the farm in the middle of the night. Well, it all started when.
Less talking, more farming.
It's just Maud has a boy.
Oh!
I'm not jealous.
Marvel, you got a
Anything
stick
about
eye?
jealous.
Don't be. And somehow we tricked Maud into liking him, and now I'll never get to see her again.
Trick!
Oh my gosh.
I came home because you two know her better than any pony. What am I missing? What did she see in him? What does he have that I don't?
Back up, Pinkie Pie. You look as miserable as I feel all the time.
Because I love Maud, and
Okay,
I
well,
want to love Mud Briar.
That's one way to tell us that.
See anything to like
You can't keep her as a treasure, Pinkie.
Fine. We're taking a work break. Come on. I'm looking at a sparkling bright blue and white rock. See it?
You mean that lumpy gray one?
No, the beautiful blue and white one. Right there.
Yeah, the one that's drawn slightly different than the ones it's sitting on top of.
Or white, but
It's a Chekhov's gun, Pinkie. You should know this.
It's a geode.
Boom.
It's what's in the inside.
Oh god, it's happening like a bunch of times too again. No!
I should crack open Mud Briar like
Oh my.
Pinkie homicide.
She's an idiot!
Mud Briar as a rock, but Maud sees him as a gem. Even if you never see past his dullness, you can see how happy he makes Maud. And to his sister, that's all that matters.
It's not his dullness, it's how much of a dick he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I was on Pinkie's side for... Well, no, I wasn't, because she's still shockingly unlikable, but yeah, Mud Briar
Okay.
Oh
is
no.
annoying.
I really owe Mud Briar an apology. I owe Maud a party. I just hope I'm not too late.
Oh. Oh.
I brought you an olive branch to say sorry. I was really ready to
Oh, no.
ideas for Maud's birthday. If you still want to plan it together.
Technically, this isn't even an
He
olive
was right
branch.
to choose see you later.
It's a quercus, most likely Castiniafolia.
Oh, come on!
That's what I'm thinking, Pinkie.
And I love a good
Do it for the sister.
friends.
Friends! Now, do you have any ideas for the party?
There is one.
Okay. Still using those assets from season 1, Spike, huh?
What?
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 No.
Okay, try to satisfy your own party desires while having the silent party with your actual sister.
It was all your amazing work, You said the best present would be me throwing
Alright, and the aggressively pointless solution at the bottom of the hill that I don't know what it was a solution to.
Preparations from up here.
Technically, you're right.
I have to be begrudging, and that's it.
What?
That's
Okay.
it for an
Okay,
ending?
I'm glad it. Okay, for once,
Oh,
I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm glad it's over.
Oh god.
oh my God!
Good.
If
What
I,
are,
Alright.
what are you
I-
done season 8?
oh boy.
I
I
just
think I
want to
just
say
found
a
my
few
quibble
things.
pants.
Oh!
Second,
Alright, let me
you
just
just had to mention the name.
Second,
Alright.
and now your quibble path is literally what I imagine you. Pony World. God dang it.
So, wait, what's how you imagine? Mud Briar's how you imagine me?
In a sense, yes.
Mm,
It's
I am
weird. Weird.
I am getting
I am
such
much more
hints of
colorful than
quibble.
Briar.
I am getting such hints of quibble from Stick in the Mud. I'm not calling him Mud Briar. I'm gonna call him Stick in the Mud because that's what the cutie mark is, and that's what resonates in my head. Stick in the mud, stick in the mud, stick in the mud, stick in the mud,
Yeah.
stick in the mud.
Oh, yeah. But I mean,
No,
like,
sir.
I know nothing can possibly make you not hate quibble, but I mean, in my case, at least there was like some thought put into the lines he was saying, like some level of intelligence behind them. Like,
Oh, but there's just something about I don't know, but it's just something about he's correcting Pinkie all the time. It's like I'm smart. I'm smart. I'm gonna shove it down your throat every single sentence I utter.
It's the same old archetype of the nerd who always corrects what everyone says,
Oh
but with
my
the
God.
added dull tone to it.
And that's what makes it. And that's what makes it. I think. Dare I say it? But I'm gonna say it anyway. He may have just inched out Quibble.
Oh my God.
I know.
oh yeah,
I did not think it was possible. But congratulations, MLP! You may have made a character that I'd like to bash on the head even more than Quibble. But I will refrain because it's Maud's boyfriend. But you can always, but viewers, you can always do it through fan art. I won't tell.
Okay.
and I mean, I know that, like, I'm going for okay. He thinks a little different socially, and I'm sure that there are ways you can point out how like elements of it are accurate impressions. But I mean, it's like this is the episode I always hate not liking the most because it's kind of like to counter anyone who's gonna want to defend it. You have to talk about subtle differences, but it's like it's kind of what it is. Like the difference between this guy and Maud is like the difference between this episode and something like, well, heck, even Rock Solid Friendship. But like, no, yeah, Gift of Maud Pie, whichever one you want. Like where Maud, I mean, I know not everybody likes her, but I'm a fan. I felt like they made her kind of a mystery at first, and like something vaguely off about her, but like you kind of like each episode, I feel like we've gotten to know her bit by bit, and I feel like there's been really good comedic timing behind all of it, and you kind of get how there's a thought process there, and there are feelings there. There's like there's even some sensitivity there, like how what she was open to wanting to make a new friend in Rock Solid Friendship, or open to Rarity joining their Pie Sister Swap Day thing in Gift of Mod Pie. Actually, by Gift of Mod Pie, she was, and even Make New Friends but Keep Discord, she was starting to come across as this just like actually kind of savage badass who was like always aware on some level on a but I mean, no, this guy, it's like, okay, I could rant about how I like Mod all day. This guy, it seems like everything else in this episode, they think in simple 1-2s. Hey, he's like Mod, so he has to be dry. He has to be unlikable to some ponies. He has and that's just the note they play though almost the whole time, save for a couple of moments where they give him things to do, like have a mindscape or fall down a slide. It's like this episode seems to have its focus totally backwards. It's very creative, but it's putting all its creativity into doing just like random stuff random off the wall stuff, and not into anything that ties into anything. Like it phones it in on Pinkie, how she's Pinkie. She thinks randomly, so that means all her gags have to be either she's an idiot or she's hyper. Yeah. Or like, yeah, make new friends but keep Discord mod could do like, yeah, deadpan jokes that were really funny and savage. Like, well, no, Maud is boring, so she only thinks she's good at comedy. It's like,
wait,
Really?
why are you talking about make new friends but keep Discord when Mon wasn't really featured in that episode?
yeah, she would like, this is the most basic of jokes. What is wrong with you? You're
Oh
the
my
most
goodness.
basic of jokes. Like, and then yeah, then she actually gets everyone to laugh instead of Discord. That was a great moment.
Oh,
Like,
okay. I forgot about her in that episode.
Shit. I mean, I was like, Nick Confalone, like, I always knew he had his flaws as a writer, but I mean, I was starting to think that, like, he was carving out his niche and becoming pretty solid, but okay, he is starting to get on my last nerve. He really does kind of think in, as I keep calling them, simple 1-2s as far as his delivery.
Mm-hmm. I like to make
They make the characters very annoying, but yeah, go ahead.
I like to make this statement, and I make this without reservation, and it might shock you people.
You like
Okay.
Mud Briar?
I find this episode less pleasing to watch than Secrets and Pies.
Really?
Actually, I was trying to say earlier is this episode made me appreciate Secrets and Pies.
This episode's actually. I almost prefer Cart to the horses a little more.
Cart Before The Ponies?
Yeah, Cart before the.
Well, I love Secrets and Pies, but
I almost prefer Cart Before the Ponies before this one.
I'll be honest, I agree
that
too.
is a feat. That is a feat right there.
I mean, I love Secrets and Pies, but yeah, I think this episode's pretty comparable to Cart Before the Ponies. Like, let me see, they both had maybe like one part of the story that was pretty good, and otherwise they were phoning it in the most annoying of ways.
Whereas Secrets and Pies was sort of a confusing mess, this episode is just unsatisfying and annoying, really.
Yeah.
For me,
And this episode, I was literally just like banging my head against my chair like through several parts of it, just let it go. It just, like I wanted to go into more, but like you sort of like took what I was going to say is like this episode made me appreciate Secrets and Pie and even like Karts Before the Pony, and I think it's just like it's like both. It seems like an episode where they don't know what to do with the concept, but also like realize that they can't fill a whole episode, so they're taking a bad concept and then like stretching it with filler, and it's just painful.
Wait a minute. That very much reminds me of a criticism that Second put out about a certain season 6 episode, and why we could definitely say that this episode is less entertaining than Applejack's Day Off.
Yeah.
I would take this over Applejack's Day Off. At least this had one good sequence in it.
Yeah, I'll take Applejack's Day Off over this. I'll take Applejack's Day Off over this.
I mean, some people don't hate Applejack's Day Off. I just thought it was so aggressively nothing that that was.
Let me just. The one other thing I can say is, I mean, this is sort of spoiler when we go into the Star versus React tonight. The first episode of that is a Ponyhead episode, and it's not really considered. It's probably considered the weakest episode of season 3 of Star versus. But watching this, I was like thinking, and you're probably going to agree with this. This made me really appreciate Ponyhead more. The Ponyhead episode more.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, well, here, afford myself an opportunity to defend Secrets and Pies while I'm at it. Like, okay, comparison, what are the Pinkie gags there? She is trying so hard to get Rainbow Dash to try a pie that, okay, when something off the wall happens, is that she's staring so long that she needs that just one blink is Rainbow Dash's opportunity to pull off the Quicksilver gag from X-Men. Here, hey, she can't find Maud, so she looks everywhere. Is Maud in the flower pot? Is Maud in a book?
You kind of have to.
Yak-Yak-Stan? Like,
you kind of have to expect that kind of humor from a kids show,
right?
I mean, notice the the times where it's been actually like funny and clever, just like the aggressively, hey, Maud's not in a plant. Pinkie is stupid.
Oy vey.
I mean, like kids show. That's not what this writer was thinking. Oh, hey, I have to make the humor simple because this is a kid show. He was thinking he was being clever.
Oh my! It's like, I'm really sorry to like be like Nick Confalone. You're now starting to become a red flag writer.
Oh dear.
Well, I mean, he had the first Yaks episode. It was always a red flag writer, and I mean, I usually really like his enthusiasm, but it's like, okay, this, like, where rock solid friendship, it's like, okay, Pinkie and her poorly written annoyingness was still felt kind of secondary to how good Maud and Starlight were. Here, it's kind of the other way around. And on top of that, there is no Maud and Starlight. This time it's Maud and an annoying carbon copy of her. Not even a carbon copy, an annoying pale imitation of her.
An annoying archetype.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why I don't mind Stick in the Mud, as you guys would call him. He doesn't seem annoying in my perspective.
This is an annoying character that you have no reason to care for. You have nothing that you want him to stick around for. He's just like the last thing
he's
you
like
want
a
is
more
for him to stick
he's
around.
like a more clumsily written Maud, where like Maud is always borderline. That's it. I'm gonna get into issues. Like I feel, first of all, Maud is used too much in the show now, or like I feel she should only be used as a supporting character. She's getting too many dedicated episodes, I feel.
Just imagine,
but she can be handled well, and she's being handled carefully. She can be an entertaining character. This just feels like he says, he's sort of a knockoff Maud, but he wasn't handled with as much care, so he just comes off full on annoying.
Like, I mean, I could definitely see like the repetition can get really annoying for you guys. Like seriously, I could totally get that. I mean, I
can also get why you like him. Like I said, when he first came on, I even said I sort of like him a little bit more than Maud. It's just I don't feel he's necessarily a bad character. I just feel this is a bad episode.
I mean, there are like hints at how he could become a good character, like how he seems to. They give him like lines at least implying that okay, he appreciates, and cares about Maud, but it's like, what? Well, like okay, like in what is it? Gift of Maud Pie, for example, where Maud is. Like the way she seems constantly tuned into Pinkie, like that we believe when that transitions into wait, something's off. She doesn't have her canon, and then the second she figures out what's what, it's like, okay, no, this isn't about whether I get a gift. That's a holiday. This is about Pinkie Pie. She just hurt herself because she thought, she was trying to meet some quota. That's silly. We need to go make this right. I mean, you believe that she's totally sincere about that. This guy, the note they keep focusing on is how he always technically like
he's just
wanting you to
it's just
like
really shallow. He's got no depth to him.
Well, yeah, they keep wanting to play up how dry he is, just like lean into that to make him the male Maud, and it kind of overwhelms anything else that like any doorways in they try to give you.
It's sort of like kind of making us a second of a one of a kind, and it's just like it's not as good as even the first, and even worse, you put him in the worst environment possible, which you cause one of your supposed main leads to become even more annoying than they have ever been in any sort of given episode.
Pinkie, did anybody else find Pinkie shockingly unlikable in this episode? Not just funny, unlikable.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna be the first one to raise my hand and be like, this is like regressing her from what I liked about her from the My Little Pony movie. And it's like, God damn it, you made me like Pinkie Pie again from the movie, and then you do this to her. Like, fuck.
I mean, I didn't think she was funny there either, save for one or two moments, but I mean, at least she wasn't this, like, this jerk on the thinnest of excuses.
Yeah, I think this is arguably the worst Pinkie Pie's been since Philly Vanilli.
No.
Rarity of like moments where Rarity was like, "Oh, you only be performing in front of a large crowd that will be watching you," and like now it's Pinkie Pie's turn to do that, and
right, and she puts
two and two together. But I mean, like
Right, she just gets the fuel for it.
Well, in other words, I think there's a reason there so that weirdos like me can like that. This doesn't even have that.
No. This is not the worst since FiM and Lily. This is the worst Pinkie Pie episode I've ever seen.
Wow.
That's just like
Yak Yakistan.
No. Not even Yakistan. No.
I mean, granted, Pinkie Pie was a redeeming factor there, but I do feel like the Yaks were that bad.
No. The Yaks were redeeming my eyes. This episode, even with a somewhat likable character in my perspective, Pinkie Pie has just becomes what I never thought they would do. They made her Twilight from No Second Prances. Motherfuckers.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Actually, I think this was worse.
And you made it even worse because she's one of my favorite characters. I mean, Twilight was always like a decent character before the Princess episodes happened. But for Pinkie, she was the delight of my life in the series. She was always the bubbly, energetic self who's basically like, you don't really see much flaws in her that would ground her down unless you try to force it onto her, like say Pinkie's Pie. But then this episode is like, imagine a Pinkie Pie that's so petty and so possessive of her sister. It almost makes me think of her as an antagonist from a JRPG in which I want to rip out her art and basically be like, no, I'm going to redeem your heart right now by freaking, oh God, what to steal your heart, your treasure, just make you better. But no, it has to be like in the confines of this episode that you have to be like one of the most intolerable main characters. Like, okay, Twilight might have like a bit of a reasoning for like not liking Trixie or might not even trusting Trixie based on like others' peers' opinions. Pinkie, on the other hand, is like, you're criticizing Stick in the Mud for doing the exact same things and rose-colored tinted blinding yourself, even if that was supposed to be a joke about like, it's just a stick. And I'm like, this is insulting your relationship with Maude, you know?
And you this shows just how much of rose-tinted glasses. No. Remember the part where we saw in Equestria Girls where we saw Pinkie's mind, where Sunset Shimmer saw Pinkie's mind? That is how Pinkie in Equestria, that's how her mind works. And that's how she is so blinded. She is so blinded by her own ecstasy-filled brain, her own helium ecstasy sugar-coated brain, that she can't see what's in front of her. And that this the one good thing about this is it added a little more likability, visibility visibility and a little bit of likability to Maude. This really does demonstrate how caring Maude is. I mean, but at the same time, how how much Maude puts up with. I mean, this pretty much throws their whole relationship kind of out of whack. I mean, Pinkie just does what she wants. She's like Honey Badger. She don't give a what. And Maude just deals with it. Maude just deals with it just because it makes Pinkie happy.
Oh
you
my
know?
God. It's
but she does, on the plus side of it, that shows that really does. Pinkie is right about that. That Maude cares enough to put whatever she feels aside to make, because she likes seeing Pinkie. She loves Pinkie and she likes seeing Pinkie happy.
But that honestly kind of brings up a new flaw in Maude now.
Right.
Or in the writing in this episode, in the sense of like, she's just too accepting to the point that it's just.
But
well, I mean, before it was like, okay, sure, they accept each other's quirks. They accept, well, like in her very first episode, I don't really like Candy, but I do like Pinkie Pie. I mean, that's sweet. That's being a good big sister. But I mean, there was also like a lot of how they get each other on some level. And this episode, well, one, it shifts it. In Maude's case, it shifts it more to that she tolerates Pinkie, but also, people like defenders are going to come back at us with, well, that's the point. She knows Maude so well, she doesn't even get how people see her from the outside looking in. That's the joke with Mud Briar. It's like, well, yeah, but one, they overplayed it, so no, that's not funny. They like hit us over the head with a sledgehammer to drive that in. And two, okay, she doesn't get Mud Briar. Even so, Pinkie is somewhat like, she has literally never well, okay, somebody always manages to find some semi-exception when I say that, but okay. She's always been a character who is like aggressively cares about being friends with everybody. We got Cranky the donkey trying to throw shade her way. It passes right over her head. There's nothing he can do to turn her off. And this is someone she has every reason to care about, like befriending, being on good terms with. And okay, we've seen that if somebody starts to steal her thunder, then okay, she'll get sad. She'll maybe try to steal the attention back. But I mean, like, he didn't really even do that. Like, Pinkie's like makes up a couple of she makes thin reasons out of other thin reasons that he is stealing her thunder, like, and runs off like at a moment's notice, like everybody's saying, like, no, that's really not what's going on. Yes, it is. I'm out of here. Like, paranoid almost. Like, I'm really tough on that bit in Pinkie Pride where, okay, yeah, Cheese Sandwich shows up and the next second it's, but what about the super party pony named Pinkie? But this is worse. Like, okay, that at least was sad. This is like just Pinkie Pie making stuff up in her head, almost like after Mud Briar is Mud Briar a couple of times. Like, she's almost like aggressively on his case.
Yeah, it's like remember when the rest of the main six was criticizing Twilight for being harsh about Cadence during the Canto-Out wedding, and that they thought like it was a figment of her imagination that she was acting like a bridezilla. This is like the exact opposite happening right now, and this is just them being boyfriend and girlfriend, and it's just like, why did we needed this to happen? Like, I can now not imagine Pinkie Pie like in any sort of like relationship in which she could balance it if she ever decided to go romantic. And I can't even like see that at all now because of what this episode is like. She's like completely a monster with like relationships if she gets this way. That's just disgusting, and you don't want to see that in a role model for kids. Like, I mean, I know you want your main characters to have flaws and such, but to have like no remedy at all, and like to just be like I'm just gonna bear with like your annoying quirks as like you become like boyfriend and girlfriend instead of like trying to like fix what's the matter with you that's causing you to have those sorts of issues before
like if you approach it in a flat way, it doesn't add dimension to a character, it just makes them more flat.
That, and also I feel like it kind of shows like a very wrong message of like, how should I put this? This might be a bit controversial, but this kind of shows what happens when sort of relationships in which like certain people who don't get along with like certain siblings, romantic partners might end up with the entire family later on if the relationship progresses, and so it creates these divided lines, which like it might seem okay, but it's really like they're like ticking time bombs away from doing Thanksgiving turkey disasters. And it's just like, no, I don't want that realistic, real life sort of corruption happening in like in the last few seasons of My Little Pony. Like, you can't do this. You can't do this. And it's like, I cannot trust Nick Compolone anymore with Pinkie.
Sure.
He's done the Pink Horse wrong twice. Well, technically 3 times with like her episodes. Well,
so that's 3 strikes, you're out, right?
Like, seriously, Nick Compolone, if this is your only contribution for season 8, season 9, go after someone else. Go after Trixie. You want to go for an asshole character? Make Trixie an asshole for one last time.
Wait.
Starlight.
You really want to? Okay, you really want to bring an asshole character? I dare you to bring back Quibble. Let's see what happens.
Oh my God!
And voiced by Pat Novak. I love Quibble with Rainbow Dash. I love them being all competitive with each other.
No.
Rainbow Dash wants it. She has your number. She's better than you, and so does Quibble. Like, I love that.
Second, hearing you talking about Quibble like that, it's like, it's not making me realize something now. I feel like you're the combination of Stick in the Butt and Quibble all the time. Like, that's the other missing part. Like, just add a bit of Quibble and then poof, you got yourself second opinion.
I can't.
I don't know. I'd like to think I'm not like, I don't
But I
talk
can't.
like technically.
Ah, you just did it. Oh my god.
See, I could go. I go the over the top route. I'm more like Quibble Pants and I don't know who's really showy about their words, Trixie or something. I am the male version of Trixie without the redeeming charisma.
You're the great and powerful Trevor.
Or the fireworks. You need some fireworks. Wrong firework.
I am a firework in and of myself.
What about Quibble and Treble?
Oh, here we go. I got a better idea than bringing back Quibble. Okay, I got a better idea. If Nick Confalone wants to get an asshole character, okay. How about you bring back Blue Blood?
Now that's what a funny asshole character looks like.
That would be ballsy.
Was he even a character?
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
Even something there?
Yes, he was. He was in the Gala episode all the way back in season 1. He was the one that Rary was all dreaming about and everything in the Gala song, and then she meets him and finds out he's an absolute douche.
Thank you. It goes with my eyes.
Exactly. If you want to really bring back an asshole character, I double dog dare you to bring back Blue Blood.
Okay.
Let's see if you make him more hateable than Quibble and Stick in the Mud. If for some miracle you make Blue Blood more hateable, they'll be like, congratulations. I'll be like, you've done it now.
Oh my god, I'm not starting to realize something.
To be just as hateable and still be fun to watch, because that was the point.
Okay, guys, I just realized something now about Nick Confalone's writing.
What's that?
What?
He always has to include an asshole in any episode that he writes.
Really?
Whoa.
The Yaks were the initial assholes.
That's true.
Then Applejack and Heartbreakers. Then Twilight and
Marble
and
Heartbreakers.
And then
let's continue. That Jersey pony from the Saddle Row Review, like the manager that's saying like, you take care of my daughter or I'm gonna raise your rent until you no longer pay.
Okay.
Let's continue on. Dungeon the Discord himself.
Okay.
Well,
Discord's kind of a Discord. I think he gets a pass on Discord because I think if you're a trickster character, you are a little bit of an asshole.
Of course.
So anyway,
Discord already was, but he did include. Yeah,
right.
Discord's
the trickster character pretty much. So he gets a pass with Discord.
Well, I mean, there are plenty of episodes where the way he wrote them to be quote unquote assholes like that was like solid writing, like the rent guy in Saddle Row Review. That is probably something a landlord would do. So
okay, so he'll get a little bit of a pass on that one because that's kind of realistic there.
I'm not trying to say the asshole character poisoned the pot for his episode. No, right. I'm saying like he's dependent on an antagonistic force that's like so jerkish and just so out of the wacky, like antagonistic and crazy for like our heroes to go up against that. He's just very much like when those episodes go wrong, they can corrupt some of the character that he uses the asshole stick on.
Right.
And just that like more in general that he was just kind of a stilted writer. I mean, like he's creative, he's enthusiastic, sure, but he's also stilted. Like, I mean, like when you look closely, you can kind of see the level of complexity he's not interested in. Like what Heartbreakers, Applejack is talking to Pinkie, like, well, don't you think other traditions would be better? Like, picture this, both our families sitting around a tree opening presents. Hey, I do really like that. And then the episode, like, well, that was a nice way to end that scene. Let's go back to Applejack trying to sneak it behind Pinkie's back. One sequence doesn't connect. Yeah, the follow-up sequence doesn't connect to that one at all. Yeah, hey, we're moving towards the direction I wanted to go, where Applejack tries to force herself on everyone.
All right. Just want to try to wrap this episode discussion up because we'll probably be moving on to Star versus soon.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I completely forgot.
And some of us will have to go to bed soon. So
yeah.
So overall, This was an episode I was somewhat loathing and wishing that it was somewhat different. I came out of it with a new, somewhat likable character now, in the form of Mud Briar. But was it really worth seeing Pinkie Pie at her absolute worst?
No.
No.
I would rate this episode as tedious, teetering on terrible in my rating scale. By God, season 8, after school days, this is how you get your third episode on.
Now. This is only episode 2. This is only episode 2. How many are we getting in season 8?
26.
Oh, come on. They have 24 more episodes to erase this. Who knows?
Counting 2 parters as one, then it's 24.
Wait, so it's 22, actually.
Okay, 22. They have plenty.
22.
What?
No, think about it. Like 2-parter.
Oh, okay, you're right.
23 because that 2-part already happened.
Well, either way, they have time. They have time. They have time. This could be all turned around. this could just be a little slump, and they'll come back stronger than before or better.
I do think it depends too on the individual writer. Like this could just be Nick Confalone doing Nick Confalone, and swing and a miss.
Swing and a miss completely.
This is a miss. A miss, definitely. A miss, definitely. Yep. Yeah. And who's next after him? After you? I don't know. Who's next?
After Unova? Or Gladius?
I mean, I guess it would be Jenn.
Okay. For me, I agree. Definitely a miss. This it kills me to say it. This stands with Cart Before the Ponies and Spike at Your Service. It's one of those episodes I'd rather not watch again, honestly. And again, congratulations. There is now a character even more annoying than Quibble. And it's Stick in the Mud. I refuse to call it Mud Briar. I'm just going to call it Stick in the Mud. Because that's what it is. But anyway, it's just as grating. He's just as grating as Quibble, but only Quibble is the geek smart and passionate and everything. But this one with I don't care. I'm going to call him Quibble Point 2. I'm going to call him Quibble. It's not just Stick in the Mud, but Quibble Point 2. But this one, it's like I'm intelligent, so I'm going to shove it down your throat, and that just drives me crazy about. Crazy about it. You know, I mean, yeah, you had a little bit of a little bit of redemption in the end, just like one little bit, but I don't even know if that's enough for me to even give a crap anymore. But
suggesting the solution, let's throw Maud a surprise party by replacing her with a cardboard cutout so that everyone else can still party. What the heck was the point of that? Exactly.
Now I understand this could appeal to introverts and such. Okay, I understand. I think the motive was to try to appeal. The whole idea of Maud, I think, is to appeal to the introverts and such. But I don't know. It did one good thing is it gives you a little bit more insight into Maud, pretty much. And yeah, okay, Stick in the Mud and Maud would be good for each other. But you know what? If this is a filler episode, then fine, leave him in the filler. Okay, but. This was hard. This was hard to watch. I almost clawed my face off, honestly. But congratulations. You know, I'm starting to get a list of ponies I'd like to put in the glue factory, and let's hope this stops. Let's hope this stops, because I don't like that idea. Okay.
Jenn caddles along the most undesirables.
Cadet, if you're out there, you may have to draw me with two boulders ready to crack 2 ponies' heads.
And both of them are Earth ponies.
Yeah, she's standing in front of Mud Briar and Quibble duh. I'm like, choose Mud Briar, crack him.
Or what you said.
No, you only have one rock, and you're trying to decide which one to crack with it, and you're like, I can't choose.
How can I get both at the same time?
I'd be like, no. With my
2 birds with 1 stone.
Remember my OC is a unicorn. I'd be like, why choose? And I use my power to break it in half, to break the big boulder in half, and then
shit.
Problem solved.
Like, yeah, Alex is on one side saying, both of them on the other side saying, no, Mud Briar.
Actually, but okay, truthfully, honestly, Quibble would get the brunt of it. I would be like, I can't decide if you should live or die with Stick in the Mud because I like Maud.
You got to throw it in a way that it bounces off one and hits the other.
That'll work.
It kills one and cripples the other.
Yep.
But if he were crippled, he'd be useless anyway. So, what's the point? What would be the
Let
point?
fate decide.
Okay, that'll work. I'd be like, I did not mean for that rock to hit Mud Briar. It just slipped. Or better yet, to be like, that's an igneous rock. It can't slip. You're like, technicalities. But all Mud Briar would be like, technically. Then all of a sudden they're like, never mind, you're dead.
The second one falls on his head.
Technically, never mind, you're dead.
But any other closing thoughts?
Well, surprisingly, I seem to be one of the less negative ones here. I mean, not that I've had much good to say this whole time, but I mean, it's kind of what happens when it turns around to not liking the episode. I tend to be a little more reined in. Like, I think that it is comparable to Cart Before the Ponies, and I was one of the more reined in ones on that too. Or also, like, well, yeah, it has like one pretty good sequence at the rock farm. There is a lot of creativity going in, but it kind of goes into just the wrong direction, just into like doing this random stuff, thinking of like sight gags and stuff like that. Like, I was not disengaged, but I was annoyed the whole time watching this, and it gradually got to the point where I lost all hope that this was gonna do anything worthwhile. Like, I don't like that its interpretation of Maud is like just that she's so dry that like any social awareness she thinks she has is just her imagination. Like, okay, she thinks she's funny, she's not. Yeah, don't appreciate giving her a boyfriend who's just like a carbon copy of her. I felt like that took a whole 2 seconds to think of. I mean, like, I wasn't over the moon about like Big Mac and Sugar Bell, but okay, at least there's potential for chemistry there because they're not carbon copies of each other. I mean, like, get into someone who would be their own character and still be a good match with Maud. Some, I don't know, other kind of like introvert or auteur or whatever, just like, I don't know, somebody who maybe really has their head in the clouds and is like really an enthusiastic one-track mind sort of pony who, yeah, gets how Maud has this single passion in life. Or heck, with Big Mac, I feel like those two would be more interesting than they are with either of the characters they actually did put them with. But yeah, another introvert there. But I mean, actually, I think that if I had to actually give the most similar comparison, I'd bring up another episode I don't think we've mentioned much yet. What About Discord? I think they're both very similarly a whole lot of nothing happening. They're like, not going anywhere. Well, kind of, sort of. I think that, like, okay, they're both like really throwing a lot at the screen. Like, okay, hey, this is happening. This, they're recreating the inside jokes. They're throwing lots of inside jokes at Twilight. Discord is creating lots of sight gags, but it's like just all a great lot of like an excuse for the episode to chase its tail in circles and be annoying. Like, yeah, hey, Pinkie Pie is looking for Maud. She looks here, and that's ridiculous. Pinkie's stupid. And I mean, and it all like could have been resolved when they were having the conversation. Like, there's no reason Maud would not tell Pinkie that she had a boyfriend. There's no reason that Pinkie would just like randomly cover Maud's mouth. But hey, we need the excuse for more hijinks. And of the two, I do like this better than Make New Friends But Keep Discord. It had that one good sequence. Make New Friends But Keep Discord had like a good 10 seconds maybe with Twilight finally admitting how she feels, which it then undid.
You're confusing the episode titles. You're talking
What About Discord had like its one good moment with Twilight. It's like good 10 seconds with Twilight admitting her feelings, which it then kind of undid. But okay, it was that. I feel like of the two, this episode's creativity was at least a little better because it was less aggressively pointless, like giving Mud Briar a mindscape or whatever that he uses to make his decisions. That at least is like an entertaining way to give us a glimpse at how he thinks, if nothing else. And what else? Like I mean, at some point, there was at least a period where I was invested in where this one was going. There was never that for Make New Friends to Keep Discord. So I guess I don't approve of this one. I guess ipso facto, it cracks my 10 worst list because, like, I think even with this one, I've only, like, given a thumbs down to 12 or 13 episodes. But yeah, it's just really disappointing. Like, I think that it's, this episode really makes me fixated on the things it did wrong and which add up to be the majority of it.
But it's still early in the series. We could still have
that's
some
the other
Jenn.
thing. Season 8 just broke my record for earliest thumbs down in a season. Season 3 had the record before. It was the 4th episode that made me give it a thumbs down. Now it's the 3rd or the 2nd, depending on how you look at it.
Oh my god.
Well, that's a new Academy record.
Yeah.
In the worst
Never made
way.
it a premiere yet, but that's what it's going to take to break the record now.
Gee, what an episode. Shallow, annoying, and unsatisfying. An ending that just leaves you there just thanking God that it was over.
Agreed.
Character that you just hope doesn't show up again for the rest of the 2 seasons. Chances are he won't appear again.
He better. I hope he's a one shot.
I feel at least will appear in a background later in the season or something like that.
That's fine.
It's sort of like the trend.
It's an archetype they could take 10 seconds to make up. And the only redeeming factor about him is that he works as a boyfriend for Maud.
He does listen. And he did. And it seems like he took some time to really understand Maud.
Yeah, he's not really great, but he just works. So he's just a throwaway.
Even that, it's like you could technically write that into any character. I mean, as long as it makes a modicum of sense that they would get each other or be able to.
I mean, like he kind of reminds me, like the way I feel about him is kind of like it reminds me of the way I felt about Trixie in her first episode back in season 1. Like, I hated Trixie in that episode, and I hate him in this episode. So yeah, it's just
hate.
There's nothing good going for that guy.
Well, I'll be one of the people who will stand for Stick in the Mud. And hopefully we might be able to create a new fan club in which we will create a revolution of all the Stick in the Muds that will come together, and we will have the sticks of war rising against all the non-believers.
I will beat all of you. I will beat all of you with sticks.
And I will hand her the sticks to beat them with.
And then after I am done beating all your corpses, I will throw the sticks with your corpses and light them on fire and dance around and run around with more sticks.
Playing the violin.
And drinking a lot of booze.
Jenn, how could you?
How could you?
How could you do all that stick abuse?
How could you, Gladius?
How could you?
Oh, nice callback. Nicely played, Unova. This episode made Limestone a little more likable.
Oh, Limestone, like, okay. There's
They
one
hit us over the head with that too, but yeah, at least.
Okay.
Something.
That's one surprising positive thing about this episode, which is why I won't say it's worse than What About Discord or even say A Bit About Three's a Crowd or Karts Before the Ponies. It does have likable moments. Very much so, like Limestone and like Marble, both of them as surprising supports, who weren't expecting Pinkie to come over to the rock farm and just been like, wow, I can see how they can normally act in the rock farm, and it's like, well, I'm really glad that we get to see this bit without any sort of holiday shenanigans with them now.
Yeah.
The one likable episode, one likable moment though with Pinkie imagining the rest of the main five and how it's opposite day or something. Like,
Yes.
it's probably the
I
one
was like,
like
what the heck?
I never learned to read. Just kidding. That's so hilarious.
Oh my god.
It's
I
just
It was
beautiful.
disliked. I'm talking about like the episode is creative, but just like focusing on random stuff that has nothing to do with anything is where that comes out.
Like seriously, I feel like that meme is going to be more popular than the Secrets and Pies meme of Dark Dash.
Like, I think it's a good thing Dale ever couldn't be here for this one. She mentioned liking it, and yeah, she would have been the only one, it seems.
Oh,
Granted, I still miss her being part of these very much, but yeah,
bless,
might be a
bless
blessing
her,
in disguise this time.
bless her heart. Bless her heart. Be glad that she wasn't here for the utter obliteration.
Which one?
Mhm.
What?
They love her. They love her.
Don't tell me she liked the episode. Did she?
Yeah, she mentioned that she did. So
Oh boy. We are going to have some problems here.
Oh no.
See, what's the next one?
Okay, she's free to like the episode. Did she like Stick in the Mud? Did she like Stick in the Mud?
what did she say? I forget. I think she said something about mixed thoughts on him.
Okay.
Okay, as long as she doesn't love him, then I can still take him out.
We got a Fluttershy and Rarity episode next week.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
The last time we ever had that episode was green isn't your color.
No, it was Philly
Oh
Vanilli.
God.
Fluttershy running
No,
the
Philly
boutique.
Vanilli wasn't dead.
Wow.
Yeah, Rarity was signing Fluttershy up to be part of the Ponytones and stuff.
But she wasn't really a
yeah,
part of the
that one.
episode. It
That
was
was
mostly
good
a
time.
Fluttershy episode.
Mostly was, but I felt like Rarity was the contributing factor there.
Well, it wasn't like a dual part. Like I have a feeling with like a description of a Fluttershy and Rarity episode, it would be more of a dual tagonist role instead of like a mostly main character with supporting side character.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I'd still like your Philly Vanilli at least as much as green isn't your color. That was more like, oh no, wait, this episode is totally partly about Fluttershy standing there and being cute because we know we already did this with Rarity and suited for success, so we, want that excuse to do it again.
All right. I guess with that said, I hope this, like, from what I haven't watched the leaked episodes, but from what I'm aware of the rest of the season, it's supposed to be mostly good episodes coming up. So
Okay.
I'm hoping this is just the one sour apple that they somehow
agree.
decided to start.
I mean, after all, this sour apple beat out bad apple in second opinion.
That one bad apple is the worst episode. This one would maybe come in 10th on my top 10 worst list.
And at least I have a new example of this describing my new rating of tedious. When an episode goes out of its way to continually repeat its flaw or compound it even further, and it makes you want to kill. But
You
not
mean
in
like
a-
Spike at your service?
Spike at
Like if your
service?
service was also more annoying than this, yeah.
No,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I
That's a
actually
warm up, honestly.
I actually kind of don't mind Spike at your service.
Yeah. You know what? Spike at your service is like a warm up.
Like at your service is a giant excuse for hijinks. If you think they're funny, you'll like the episode at least okay, maybe. If you don't, and I don't see how anyone could, you'll be like me.
Well, looks like I'm not you.
I kind of have the same feeling about every little thing she does. I loved it for the hijinks aspect of it.
I kind of thought that was the weakest part. I mean, they were fine, but yeah, I mean, there were some pretty funny ones in there. Admittedly, Fluttershy gets the dungeon spiders and the worms.
But yeah, I guess see y'all next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And wish us for better luck with the season's tidings.
Yep. Let's hope for some better ones next time.
I'm not the only negative one today.